And fantastic. And then as a third thing, we
actually
need to bring this thing up.
Welcome everyone.
Welcome.
This is Michelle and Jack Bosch. Welcome to the Land Profit Lab. This is session 1 of the Land Profit Lab. We are super excited. We have been working really hard over the last few weeks to really create an amazing training for you guys over the course of the next 9 days, because this is not going to be just 5 days. We're actually going to be here together until next Tuesday. We have a ton of content. We have a ton of bonus sessions that are going to be starting tomorrow at 2 p.m. But welcome everyone to session 1 of the Land Profit Lab. Super excited to have you here. So I'm sitting so low, I hate to sit up. So yeah, Jack doesn't want to feel.
I feel like yeah. So anyway, so yes, good morning everyone. We're super excited to be here. This starts the journey of not just 5, but as Michelle said,
9 days.
9 days.
We're
right?
We're
there next Tuesday, every single day.
We're gonna be live. Know each other really well.
And every day we go live at 10 a.m. Pacific. We're also live on Instagram. But you guys, Instagram guys, Sherry, Hochleitner, Stephen Crawford, Kenyon, all guys, come over to Facebook, right? Go to lpglab.com. You can still have time to register, get our workbook, get going. So then you join us in Facebook, because all the interaction happens over here.
Something that we want to ask you guys is to please allow StreamYard, grant them permission so that we can see your names. Right now, we only see Facebook user. We don't see your name, and we want to be able to interact with you over the course of the next 9 days and be able to call you by name and address and say, hey, Eric, good morning. How are you doing? Or answer your question and so on. So make sure you give StreamYard permission for, to be able to post comments, and that way we are able to see your name.
Right,
okay.
Because
hey, good morning, Jacqueline. How are you doing? Good morning.
Now somebody said jumping jack something, and I don't know who said it. So you got to give StreamYard the permission to talk to us, all right? To permission. And it's right above the video. There should be a click that says, hey, give us permission to this. Yeah. So there we go. Aristo, thank you for doing that, right?
Perfect.
So we see a lot.
So where are you guys tuning in from? Let us know where are you guys tuning in from. We want this to be a wonderful exchange between, us, not just looking into the little, here into the camera, but being able to, interact with you guys. Let us know where you're tuning in. What's the number 1 reason that you guys are here? Why did you register for this? Right now, we have about over 5,000 people actually that have registered for today's lab, which starts today, of course. And I know that we're almost at 200 and something people here live. What's the number 1 reason? Can you post in the comments? Yeah. Hey, Renton, Washington is in the house. Las Vegas, Nevada is in the house. Florida's in the house. Welcome, everyone.
Dayton, Ohio, Chicago, Cedar Parks, Texas, Maryland. Very cool. So keep posting where you guys are from, and then also post what is the reason you are here. What needs to change in your life? What are you looking to do? What is the goal? What is the outcome? Because we're going to cover a part of that anyway today. In just a little bit, we're going to dig deeper into your reason why. Because the number 1 reason that separates people who are successful and not successful is those that are successful have a reason why. Because anything you do in life, you're going to hit a couple of hurdles, right? And sometimes the hurdle is not even in what you do. The hurdles is in your overall life, right? The hurdles might be family members, might be just like you're getting dragged into parties all the time, you get into, or health or whatever it is. And if you don't have a big enough reason why, then you don't know how to succeed, right?
Yeah, so the next 9 days, guys, like I said, we have over 5,000 of you. We are so honored. We're absolutely thrilled that, we are going to be your guides in a process that has changed the lives of hundreds of people. And it's going to, help you do the same as well. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be teaching you how to build, grow, and scale your land flipping business. This is our expertise. We are Michelle and Jack Bosch. We're the co-creators of the Land Profit Generator Method. And all the Land Profit Maximizer strategies that we're going to be teaching you today, this group here right now is the number 1 incubator of all land flipping businesses on the planet. We are here at the Harvard of land flipping.
We are the original land flippers. We're the original teachers of land flipping. We are the best in the industry. We're the most caring in the industry. We surround you with most support. This is the place to learn.
Yeah. So guys, I see still a lot of Facebook users. Make sure that you allow StreamYard, the ability to post comments, give StreamYard permission so that we can see your names and we can actually interact with you guys. So we will have prizes all throughout the week. And what we're trying to do this week is create motion, momentum, taking action steps with us as we go along. So this is not just throwing, content at you, but you actually having to move every single day. Every single day, at the end of the sessions, we're going to have a homework post where you guys are going to be taking a specific action. And I want you guys to please, 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 please do everything possible to stay at our pace, to stay with us, because each and every session is kind of like a piece of a bigger puzzle. We're not going to be repeating information. Each and every of these sessions is going to be unique and different. So make sure that you do everything possible. I know that you have kids, right now that might still be at home. If they need to be on your shoulders, that's fine. But you need to be inside of this group over the next 9 days.
The next 5 to 9 days can happen for you if you take this seriously, right?
Yeah.
If you take this seriously. I mean, literally, we're going to spend the next week and a half with you, and our team is thrilled to honored to have this opportunity, because the thing is, and you are hopefully excited to be this, because this is a very special edition of the Land Profit Lab. We're excited because the country seems to be reopening right now, but at the same time, we understand that not all jobs are actually coming back, right? Not all jobs will be coming back. Some jobs are gone. Some industries are gone. Some industries will take decades or years and years to recover. So now is the time for you to create your own
economy.
You create your own economy. It's time for you to take your own life in your own hands and start making those profits and those income that you deserve, that you're capable of, that you can do if you just have the right knowledge, guidance, and systems around you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about there.
I also want to add, there's a lot of new friends here, old friends here right now watching us that could be live, that are going to be watching and going along the trainings over the next 9 days. And I don't need to tell you, I know that a bunch of you already know that we are right now in one of the best moments in human history, in one of the best land markets ever that we have seen in years. We have been doing this since 2002. We have done over 4,000 flips. We grew our land flipping business to an 8-figure in revenue. So we have been doing business in a large scale, but we've never seen the market that we have been seeing right now. People inside of this group have been doubling, tripling their profits. It's been an oasis of success, and we can't wait to pass the baton over to you if you are new in this group, so that you can start cashing in on land as well. Yeah. So I just wanted to add that. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like we have not seen a market like the one that we're seeing right now. COVID has actually helped our business. Right at the beginning, when COVID came up, we're all a little nervous, like what's going to happen? We did a State of the Union and things like that. But what's happening is that our business has exploded. Our students, our coaching students, our coaches, ourselves, we're selling like crazy. People like bombarding us. We're getting inquiries on properties that are not even listed. Like people literally find our properties, they're like contacting us, like, I want to buy this piece of property there.
Everyone wants right now 1 acre, 2 acres, 10 acres to get the heck out of the city that they're in right now and not have to wear masks. People are not able to travel right now and go on flights, overseas or wherever. So everyone is looking for a respite from the craziness right now in the land space. And we just couldn't be more excited, like I said, to pass on the baton to you guys by teaching you right now the land profit maximizer strategies that have created already millionaires. Jack and I are in a mission to create 1,000 millionaires using our strategies, and we're well on our way. And and like I said, so today and the rest of this week and the next 9 days is about massive simplification. Massive simplification of your workday. It's about massive multiplication of your income. of turning basically all the hard work and effort that you've been putting in whatever it is that you've been doing into something that is actually going to produce paydays that coincide with your time and effort.
Right.
So
that is like, and this method, the land profit generator, the land profit methods that we're teaching, that we're going to walk you from A to Z to this over the course of these 9 days, is by far the most successful method in the country right now. We're literally seeing an average, just inside of this same Facebook group, we see an average of 18 to 20 success stories, checks, successes, deals, sold, that money made every single week. That is an average of 2 or 3 people that posted right in the group. And that's in addition to the direct messages we get, the emails we get, the videos we get, the people that reach out to us and tell us, like, this method is on fire, the market is on fire, and there's never been a better time to learn this method. So we're super excited about that.
You guys should start, creating your destiny, creating that life rich and entrepreneurial freedom that you guys deserve. And all you have to do is show up every day at 10 a.m. Pacific. Starting tomorrow, like I said, we have bonus sessions at 2 p.m. Actually, tomorrow is going to be hosted by Jack and one of our head master coaches, Mr. Mike Smyer, who is a complete badass when it comes to land flipping. I mean, everyone in our team, you are going to be working with the top 1% of land flippers in the country that have a superior strategy, a superior approach, superior knowledge, real life expertise on the ground, on the trenches, actual investors doing this, not somebody flipping through a manual, talking to you on the phone. These are all actual, investors that are doing right now and really cashing in on land. And that's what we want to do for you guys and help you. And in order to help you, create momentum and make this a fun experience, we have prizes. We're going to be giving away, $250 gift cards, book bundles. Actually, today's gift is going to be a book bundle that is composed of 6 books. It's Daring Greatly, Forever Cash, The Pumpkin Plan,
Secret of the Millionaire Mind.
Yeah.
The Magic of Thinking Big.
And an oldie but a good one.
Yeah, and 3 feet from gold.
Yeah.
Right?
And so we're going to be having prizes each and every single day. We are going to be also, like I said, giving away a scholarship to one of our programs. And that is if you are here live. You need to be here live in order to be able to win these. And you need to be posting on our homework post, which will be coming out right after we're done with our live sessions, in which you're going to actually take an action each and every single day. Jack and I and our team of concierges, David Van, Jennifer Clark, Stephanie Seidler, Robert Michael, and who else? And Thea, we're all here basically to help you and guide you. So when you post your answers, we personally go into each and every answer. And if we need to redirect you, if you're doing something wrong, if you misunderstood something of the things that we covered, you give us a chance to direct you. And our promise to you is that this is going to be 9 days with much more that are going to be incredibly valuable, life-changing, that are going to be worth
value.
Yeah.
So let me say that right now we're setting like a little bit of the groundwork. We're giving you the kind of rules of the game. So just bear with us for a little bit. We're going to go into detailed content in just a moment.
Yeah.
But the one thing you want to understand that I want you to understand. Let me try that again. The one thing that I want you to understand, that over these 9 days, if you attend all the sessions, you will get more value than from any program that you paid money for so far out there.
Yeah.
Because what we stand for is going to be productive. We're going to give you, by the way, what are we talking about? We're talking about land flipping here, right? We're talking about land flipping. We're talking about a method where you can get 10, 20, 50, 100, or even $200,000 properties for anywhere from 5 to 25 cents on the dollar, or 5 to 30 cents on the dollar. Then you don't even actually have to buy them. You do wholesaling of these properties. You do double closings, assignments, use transactional funding. We teach you how to literally get deals done without using any money. And we're going to go into all those details. Today, we're going to explore what makes a good property, right? What kind of properties we focus on. We're going to explore tomorrow on how to get lists. On Wednesday, we're going to explore how to get those lists out, how to make offers. We're going to explore how to sell these properties. We're going to explore how to we're going to answer all these questions. So this is a deep content-rich 9 days, a deep dive into our method completely for free. Make sure you attend every single day of it.
And by the end of next Tuesday, you are going to be going into the world equipped to start, like I said, creating those 10, 15, 20, $40,000 paydays and become one of the success stories that we see here and inside of the group every single day. And so, you know, and those people that have done and have gone before you have trusted themselves, have trusted the process, you know, have taken action with us each and every single day in the homework post and everything that, you know, that we've asked, and just the results have been astounding. And so, like I said earlier, make sure that you are here each and every single day. We want you to win big with land. We want to put you in motion. Right. And because this is a 7-figure opportunity. And so we're going to be teaching you all the tactics, but also the high level strategy to help you scale. Because a business has 4 stages. It has startup, it has build out, it has build up, it has ramp up, and it has a level of mastery that comes from you having done over and over and over and over one singular activity. For us, that has been land flipping, and that's how we have been able to create $70,000 in passive cash flow per month from land notes. And we want, you know, for you guys to have that cash confidence in your life, in your world as well. As a matter of fact, I always do this, every single time, and I would like to go ahead and have you guys play and have fun with us. If you go and you put a photo of yourself, you know, watching this lab during the course of this week, and you tag me on your wall, not inside of this group, but Michelle, on your wall, you tag Michelle Bosch, and you have the hashtag Cash Confidence. We are going to be sending you also a Land Profit Generator t-shirt and some other goodies.
All right,
so,
we'll do that. By the way, just a couple of other questions. How long does these sessions last? We typically go about 60 to 75 minutes.
Yeah.
We rarely go over the 75 minutes, perhaps 90 minutes the most, but usually about 75 minutes. So let's go.
With that, let's get started. Do you guys have your homework? Right. You should have received a, not a homework, but a workbook that looks like this. And I want you to realize that this might look like a piece of paper, but it has been beautifully, you know, prepared and masterfully prepared so that this can become a $1 million asset for you guys to take notes, to follow along, to basically learn all the nuances that we're going to be teaching you over the next 9 days, and have them all in one place so that you can refer back to your notes. Right. So this workbook right here equals money. Right. If homework in the past have had a negative connotation to you in your mind, please forget about that, leave that behind, make that shift, step into a mindset of a millionaire, of abundance, and make sure that you have this printed out and follow along with us.
Absolutely. By the way, I saw another question coming in just from Anna. So it's like, hey, I just want to know if this works from Canada. Yes, this is one of the beauty of this thing. The system that we're about to explain to you, just starting in like a minute, right, is a system where you can find properties that the owners no longer want. We're focusing on land because land is simpler than houses, and that's actually the 5 reasons why land is better than houses. Mm-hmm. We'll go into that as one of the first pieces of the workbook. And when you get them under contract, you flip them right away. If you get them under contract for 10, 15, 20 cents on the dollar, you flip it at half price or 60 cents on the dollar. You can triple, quadruple, 10x your money. And the beautiful thing is, because it's land, you don't have to go see it. You don't have to inspect it. You can do this from anywhere in the country. Actually, from anywhere in the world. We have students in Canada. As a matter of fact, you're asking about Canada. We have a student, husband and wife team in Canada. They had a business, COVID shut down their business. They pivoted to do what we're doing here. And within the last 5 months, while their business was shut down because of the pandemic, they created $500,000 in profits, in cash flow and equity from those deals. And they're literally doing what we're about to teach you here. Now, they're doing it from Canada in the United States. We have students in Germany. One of our students has a deal on a contract for $125,000 that's worth $280,000. He's going to make a $75,000 profit on that. Other students have deals on a contract for $15,000 worth $75,000. They're going to make $30,000 deals on it from Germany, from Chile, from United Arab Emirates. We have a British gentleman from there. We have students in Australia that do 20 deals a month from Australia, right?
Yeah.
So this is completely location independent. We have done over 4,000 deals, and all those deals have happened basically from here. Now, it's not in our living room. I sit in the home office, but that's it. We haven't seen properties. We don't go see them. This is the beauty of this program, that you can do this from anywhere. So it's designed for the times that we are in right now.
And we call ourselves, guys, the Harvard of land flipping, because right now, when Jack mentioned some of those profit spreads, we're not talking about $1,000, $800 profit spreads. We're talking about 15, 20, 40, 50, $100,000 paydays. This is not a bottom feeding technique. Right. We are the Harvard of land flipping because we specialize also in higher priced property, right. Not just junk. You know, we don't specialize.
We specialize in the entire yeah. spectrum. There's other people that specialize only into the $10,000 less properties that you pick up for $500 and sell for $5,000. Our method works perfectly for that. But our method also works perfectly for that $300,000 property that you put under contract for $120,000 and sell for $200,000 and make an $80,000 profit. Would you rather like to make $5,000 or $80,000? The question is a confidence question. The question is a cash confidence profit. Yeah, it's a cash confidence question. That's why the hashtag is cash confidence, because what you're going to build over these next 9 days is the confidence to go after the $80,000 deals. It's the confidence to create a high 6 and even 7-figure business like many of our students have done. Not everyone. Some have built only businesses that only generate $100,000 a year. But you know what? That's still better than most jobs out there. Because a $100,000 business can be created as a hobby part-time in our world, right? So if you, how about making 100 grand part-time while you enjoy the family, right? Particularly, here's somebody says have a transaction. Bill says have a transaction closing today for $51,000. Boom, Bill Graves, right? Fantastic. One of our coaching students is right there. So congratulations, Bill. So let's get going.
So yeah, so let's get going. Have this ready, because today is about, you know, creating that certainty, that cash confidence, and really, if you have been in the hustle of a 9-to-5, or been wanting to retire a spouse, or been wanting to, you know, get your kids into private school, or been wanting to, you know, buy that second home, you know, this is an opportunity that for us, when we started, you know, we came here to the US with 2 suitcases to our name and a heart full of dreams. We got our MBAs, got corporate jobs, and absolutely hated the grind, but we couldn't let go of it because our green cards depended on that and on us becoming eventually US citizens. And so, but the moment that we were able to make the side hustle our main hustle, we have been able to make all of those dreams come true. And now
we travel 3 months of the year if COVID allows us. But even during COVID, we went to Bora Bora, right? We're going back for Thanksgiving. We're planning our Christmas trip right now. We're going to California in October. We're going to travel around the world. There's no virus that's going to stop us from doing that, right? So we love traveling. That's our thing that we like to do, and so our dreams have been fulfilled with this method.
So we want you guys to have that same level of certainty in your life. So now let's go.
So the first reason. So what is land flipping? Is what? Land flipping is a 7-figure opportunity, right? A 7-figure opportunity that can be what? Let me see. That
can really become the cornerstone of your wealth and family legacy. Right. For us, it has meant really transforming and changing, you know, our family tree. You know, both Jack and I came from, you know, from parents and generations before us where
they're teachers.
So
I guess we inherited that in some way. Right?
Yeah. Where basically, you know, everyone depended on a 9-to-5. They were not entrepreneurial in nature. But we knew that, you know, we were meant for more, that we deserved more than what we were making in our jobs, putting 60, 80 hours a week and putting all that work and all that energy and effort into something that, you know, wasn't translating for us. And the moment that we focus on land flipping, you know, that completely changed for us.
Right.
You know, so focus is going to be very important as you go along with us during the next 9 days and into your journey with us in land flipping.
And even if you think about land, even if your goal is something else, if your goal is to have 100 rental houses, if your goal is to own a commercial property, if your goal is to have a multifamily,
this is a cash machine.
The way to think about that is that you need a cash machine in order to place those investments. If you're right now making $50,000 a year in a job or $100,000 a year in a job, and you want to own a $10 million asset, it's going to take your lifetime to build enough money to invest in order to buy that asset. You need a second leg to stand on, which is your cash machine, a second leg that actually creates more income than your job, so that eventually you can transition out of your job, and that becomes your cash machine. So you can live off the money from your job, but then you build all this cash up, and within a matter of 6 months, a year, 2 years, you got enough cash to implement that other piece. That's a philosophy that we put into our book, our book Forever Cash, right? So we have used land flipping as our cash machine. Has created $70,000 in cash income, in monthly income, have created millions of dollars in profits, and we have then rolled that cash over, and as a result, we own over almost 400 apartment units, about 40, 50 houses, commercial property, hotel, a car repair facility. We own all those things that now bring in more cash flow than we even, just these investments bring in more cash flow than we even use in our lifestyle, right? So as a result, we can live off this, and now we're just doing what we're doing for pure fun and to create a legacy in our lives. And you guys are our legacy, because who wants to be a millionaire? Give us a heck yes if you want to be one of our 1,000 millionaires. I want to see that. So that's that's what land flipping is. Land flipping is an 8-figure opportunity that can be the foundation or the end to it all, whichever way you want to see it, for true generational wealth creation, right?
Yeah.
That's
so
what it is.
Remember that when you feel tempted to miss a session this week, that you want to take this with reverence, with dedication, with devotion, because this is what what is possible for you guys. It's been, we've made it possible with countless others that have been able to replicate our strategies, and it's your turn right now, like I said, for us to pass the baton on to you guys.
Right, give us a heck yes. I see lots of heck yes. Sharon, Charlie, a whole bunch of Facebook, Carrie, yes. And here's I see Dagmar and Richard and Dave and so on. That's wonderful, great. So now again, so the 5 reasons why land is better than houses. We truly know, we don't believe, we know. We have done house flips, we've done land flips. Land flips are better than house flips. You know why? Number one, because that's kind of became one of our taglines. There's no tenants, toilets, or termites. And really, we use that as one reason why, and I give you 4 more. No tenants, really, what that really means is much more. There's no mortgages, no loans, right? When you put a $50,000 property on a contract for $10,000, most people don't need to go to the bank to get a $10,000 loan. Plus, the way we'll explain it to you over the course of the week is that you can take this property on a contract for $10,000, then find a buyer that's willing to pay you $30,000, do what's called a double closing, where the buyer's money, the buyer's $30,000 pays for everyone involved, and you make a $20,000 minus closing costs, perhaps $19,000 profit, without actually having paid a penny towards that, right? That's one of the key things that's creative deal structuring that we're going to share with you, right? But the thing, so there's no mortgages, there's no loans. That means there's no inspectors, there's no appraisers, there's no bank underwriters.
No estimating repairs on kitchens, exactly, on roofs, on foundation issues. I mean, none of those complications.
We just had our beautiful house that we bought a year ago, 7,000 square foot, repainted, and it was a freaking nightmare dealing with all these contractors and running around and destroying the floors and destroying the and I don't know, I don't even want to get into it, right? So it's just, and not showing up when they're supposed to show up and all this kind of stuff. You don't have to deal with that at all. You put a property under contract, you flip it, and you make money in the process. And obviously, there's a few steps in the middle.
Yeah, so land is
so there's no personal visits.
Land is the simplification of real estate, guys. Right. And we are about simplifying your workday, maximizing your results, and minimizing your efforts. So land is a simplification.
Right. There's no personal visits. You don't have to go see them. But what is there to see? A tree, right, with a bunch of dirt. So you can use Google Maps, Google Earth, Google Street View, You can use the county GIS, Geographical Information Systems website, to see all those things. So for the last 13 years, we have not gone out, and nobody in our team has gone out to see a single piece of property that we have flipped, that we have put under contract, that we sold, that we bought, and so on. So there's no need for it because you can see everything. Again, it makes it location independent. You can be in Canada, do this here. You can be in Germany, do this here. You can be anywhere in the world to do this here. Now, what else? The last thing, most important. Oh, I'm already through like number 4 and 5 here.
Oh,
but
okay.
you have probably a whole bunch more. The most important one is there's almost no competition.
It's a blue ocean of opportunity, guys. When everyone starts thinking about investing in real estate, the last thing that comes into people's minds is land. It is a gap in the real estate market that nobody cares to explore. And that's where we cash in.
So was that Brazilian farmer Drew says, I only got number 1. Hey, I've been like giving them to you like a waterfall here. So let's start again. No tenants, toilets, and termites, meaning there's simpler. No mortgages, right? No repairs, no mold, no rehabs, no kitchen repairs. I mean, we rehabbed the house one time. We did some household selling. We rehabbed the house one time actually as a rental property that where we realized that something with the plumbing in the bathroom wasn't right. They took out the bathtub and they realized that there was a hole cut into the slab of the house. There was no basement and there was no plumbing connected to the bathtub. So for the last 50 years, people were taking baths or showers and the water would go right into basically to the hole in the foundation into the ground. Thank God that water, apparently that soil was draining quickly because it would have flooded the bathroom forever. We had to spend thousands of dollars extra just to fix that. You don't have to deal with that crap when you deal with land because there is no bathtubs. There is no surprises. There's no rehab surprises, right? So that's number 3. Number 4, there's no personal visits. It's virtual. It's 100% virtual. That's another advantage.
I have $5. I have 2 from you, but I also have the returns are through the roof. Insane.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, we're talking about not just percentage-wise, but in dollars. We are able to get really high-priced property, under contract for very little money. We're able to, really put together creative deal structuring, in the form of options, assignments, and a bunch of, of other things, that as you become more proficient and get into mastery in this land flipping business, you can start applying for higher priced properties specifically. It is strongly recession proof as well. We have seen it now it's my turn.
Yes.
Through 2008, right now through the pandemic. And, no matter what has been happening in the market, our profits have continued to be steady, predictable. And that's what I talk about, when it comes to cash confidence. Nothing is going to give you cash confidence, that the predictability that land has been able to give us.
Right. We have started with that. We've done our first deal in December 25th. Literally, we got it accepted Christmas Day 2002. Closed in January 2001 because we sold it directly immediately to the neighbor across the street for 10 times what we bought the property for. And then 2 weeks later in another deal made $10,000 on that deal, and that just kept rolling. And we have gone this all the way to the run up of 2007 and 8, then all the way to the crash in 2009, 10, 11. All you do is you buy cheaper, sell cheaper. But people are wanting to give, even more people willing to give you their properties, and then you just sell them cheaper because there's lots of people that still have that dream of property ownership. And then as the market came ramped up, we kept buying, we kept flipping more, same amount of properties. And right now, I'm telling you guys, as Michelle said earlier, the market is on fire. This is the best market that we have seen since we have been in this business. This market is the same or better than it has been in 2006. Yeah. And there's no end in sight because people's tastes are changing. Land is sexy again, guys. Yeah. And then the last one, I mean, Michelle has probably one more, but
cash flows.
Cash flows, yes, land cash flows, particularly when you structure it the way we structured them, which is when you get a deal for, let's say, $30,000 property for $3,000, and you sell that property for $30,000 with what's called seller financing or owner carryback, then what they give you a $5,000 down payment. If you paid attention, you now actually got more as a down payment than you even paid for the property. And now you get $500 a month for the next 8 years on this property. Guess what? You get 6 times 8 is how much? It's $48,000 in in just payments, plus you get more than what you got at the beginning, you're making something like a $50,000 profit when you on a property that you got more money back as a down payment than you even paid for the property. And of course, that means that you can do the buying and selling all in one transaction with no money out of your pocket. So you get cash flow of $300, $400, $500 all day long, right? And there's students of ours, coaches of ours, that have built up something like almost a 5-figure, like one of our coaches built up a 5-figure cash flow just in a matter of like 6 months by just focusing on those kind of deals. And now they got over $10,000 a month coming in just cash flow. How would you like to have $10,000 a month in cash flow? Would that help you?
Your spouse. That right there can get you out of the 9 to 5.
Right. Can pay off your debt, can do a thing, because now if something happens, now if COVID happens, what happens? Okay? You put up your feet for 6 months, right? Or you double up because the COVID has actually made the market better. Now, there's a few questions about what about if it's environmentally contaminated, what if about wetland and things like that. We'll cover that all later on down the road. You don't need to worry about it. We have processes in place that actually allows you to eliminate those very simply. What we're going to cover, we're not going to cover those today. We're going to cover that in the future. So the message is, yes, though you come across those, and yes, there's very clear ways to avoid them. So don't worry about those.
Or to make money with them.
Or to make money with them.
So something that I also wanted to mention right now is make sure that you guys go ahead and post your questions below. We want this to be interactive. Please grant StreamYard also access and, to give you the opportunity to post here in the comment section so that we can also see your name. Otherwise, we just see Facebook users.
Like chat, for example, we say what's number one. I can see it because I can see here, I can see the names, but it's very, very tiny. So give StreamYard the permission.
See Facebook users. So, and what I wanted to say is go ahead and post your questions. We have a Saturday bonus Q&A, rapid fire Q&A for you guys prepared, and our team is compiling all the questions that we don't get to answer right now here live on Saturday. We're going to be there just dedicated for you guys to answer each and every question. In the past, we've had, an avalanche of questions, and, they've been covered throughout the week, but we still make it a point to cover them on that Saturday. We've even sometimes open a Sunday bonus Q&A session, Monday Q&A session as well, because on Sunday, our bonus session is going to be power listings, because that's another big point that we want you guys not to just find the property, but be able to sell the properties and not create
a secret way that we list properties, our proprietary way that literally shortens the time that from a property being sold to like a matter of days if you do it the right way, right? Yeah. So that's cool. So last and biggest reason why land is better than houses, as Michelle, we already said it once, is no competition.
Yeah.
No competition is such a big deal. Now, does it mean that you're never going to come across somebody else that does this? No. But you think about it. We live in Phoenix, Arizona, actually Paradise Valley, Arizona, which is a part of Phoenix, right? Yeah. And in the Phoenix greater market, there is probably 2,000 full-time house flippers that do this business. In the United States, entire United States, there's probably less than 500-600 full-time land flippers. That gives you just an estimate of the competition. Let's just say, even in one of the counties that I know, one of my students, like one of my own coaching students, is active in an area where I know that probably another 20 or 30 students are active in that county. It happens to be a big county, there's space for everyone. He just got 4 deals under contract, adding up to a built-in profit of well over $150,000 without any of these sellers ever having been contacted by anyone before. So even in a county where there's 10, 20, 25 people active in different parts of it, there's still no competition because there's so much land. It's so attractive. There's so much of it available. And some of these properties are like $280,000 properties, again, under contract for $125K and so on. It's just off the charts.
Guys, and when you use our land profit, maximizer tools, our proven performance letters that we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, 6 figures in testing, your response rates when we compare to houses are going to be through the roof in terms of, people actually calling you back, raising their hands and saying, yes, I want to buy your piece of land. I want to sell my piece of land to you, and you being able to find not just the people that raise their hand, but that are also incredibly motivated. Almost not just motivated sellers, but non-wanters, which is what Jack likes to call them.
Yeah.
So
because we're not looking for the people that want to give you a 20% discount on their land. We're looking for the ones that willing to give you the property at 20% of its value, so an 80% discount. But let's move on, because we have like a load of questions to answer.
The roadmap to a $15,000 flip. So
now, why do we pick $15,000? Because it's kind of like the average deal. It's not a big deal in our community to make a $15,000 profit. Some people make sometimes you make a $5,000 profit, sometimes a $50,000 profit. So 15 is right, good, middle of it. It also means that 15, if you do a deal a month, you have $180,000. Anyone okay with 180 grand in the next 12 months, right? By just doing one deal a month. Now, pretty much everyone that works with us, like the ones that we know of that work in our coaching program with us, have usually within a matter of 90 days, 120 days, they have 5-6 deals under contract. All the people who work with me have like between 4 and 10 deals under contract. So one deal a month, just one deal at 15 grand is kind of like a just normal average kind of deal. Okay, so let's go.
So there's 5 steps. The number one step is going to be finding areas in the deals, and finding and selecting the areas in your counties is crucial. Like, I see people here that, do not master this fundamental. It's simple, but you need to have a solid foundation on how to select these counties, because it's a domino effect. If you get that wrong, everything else doesn't work. You know what I mean? So finding areas and deals is the number one. Number 2 is setting up your lead generation machine system, is setting all the systems, everything on your end, so that you're able to get deal flow. Because at the end of the day, getting out of our 9-to-5, getting our spouse to retire, doing all the things that we're going to be doing does not come from doing a deal once in a blue moon. It comes from deal flow. It comes from volume. Volume allows you, and scale gives you repetition. It allows you to repeat, to master an activity, because you're doing it over and over again. 10,000 hours is what gets you to mastery. And so it comes from having that repetition, from having that volume. And so it's setting up your lead generation machine. That's number 2. Number 3 is making the right offers and getting more offers accepted. And even for getting more offers accepted, you're going to have systems in order to make the right amounts, in your offers. You're going to be
the right follow-up system for your
comping analysis being done, the right proper training, easy calculators that can help you calculate pricing as well. So that would be number 3.
Because what you want to spend your time on is selling the properties, right? Yeah. That's where the money comes in. So therefore, everything else you want to automate. You want to have systems in place that compress the time to do this, right? Yeah. This is, by the way, why this is a special edition. We're not just going to give you the fundamentals of land flipping. We're going to raise our sights a little bit too, and look for you to create mastery out of this, right? So we're always going to have one eye on the fundamentals, because there's a lot of people new here that have never heard about our method and how it all works. So you're going to be in for like drinking from the fire hose here. Yeah. But also, if you've already been through and somebody says like that they're running into some troubles and something, they have a great deal, but they don't know how to sell it. Well, we're going to focus on that. We're going to share some of our ninja strategies on how to sell it. We're going to share some of our ninja strategies on how to automate your system, so that you can raise your side and you can actually get to mastery, right? Yeah. Who's on board with that? Who wants mastery? And who wants to really hone this in such that you can accelerate
this?
Give us some energy. Give us some love here, right?
To the session?
I brought my coffee here in one of my beautiful Yeti cups, right? I'm a Yeti cup, Yeti brand fan.
Yeah. So number 4 is actually Jack Partney, covered it right now, is developing the system so that you are able to list your properties in multiple channels and have always an ongoing, because this consistent deal flow, or buyers coming and knocking on your door, begging to buy your properties. So that is also, important, which Jack partly covered it. So that's number 4. And number 5, because marketing is not the same as actually closing and selling your property and getting money in your bank account, that's going to be number 5, closing deals, so that your pipeline is always full, so that you always are having, amazing conversations with buyers. You're stepping up, and you're not just serving your seller, that you're helping them relieve, the burden of property ownership, but you're helping your buyers as well. And so setting up systems and closing, for closing deals, for actually learning negotiation, learning how to make sure that, they don't go from just being a tire kicker to you actually understanding how your piece of land can solve their problem, and you are able to close those deals quickly.
All right.
So
it means 3 and 4 again.
So 3 and 4, making the right offers.
And number 4 is developing systems to get the
them properties listed in multiple channels.
Right, to get them. Yeah, it's all about efficiency. It's all about getting things done quickly. Because we have students that get 12 deals in, and then if they don't do the steps, if you don't follow our advice, if they don't use the systems that we're going to talk about, they end up taking weeks to even list these properties, right? Because they get tied up and so on. So you got to follow a system. This is not hard. It's just got to follow a few steps and learn how to create a true business. What we're talking about here is a true business, guys. It's not a treasure hunt. It's not, I think that's what also differentiates it. Like I know a lot of house flippers, there's so much competition out there that they go out that house flipping has become a treasure hunt unless you build this humongous marketing machine, right? But if in our business, we have people doing 300 deals a year alone without even a virtual assistant, or perhaps with John was just one virtual assistant. They consistently get 20 deals a month in and can handle them themselves because they're using the systems that we talked to you about. So this is truly a business opportunity. This is truly a scalable 6- and 7-figure business that you send out X number of letters, you get X number of phone calls, you make X number of offers, you get X number of deals, you go list them, the time frame and sell them, and you can basically tweak this system to your liking to scale or to whichever way you want.
Yeah, and on session 4 this week on Thursday, we're actually going to be covering how to reverse engineer the goals that we set today, depending on what you want this land flipping business to bring into your life. So that's for sure coming in terms of like actually getting into the nitty gritty of the numbers. Right. Yeah.
So now that we covered kind of what this business is and what the opportunity is, who is excited about this? Give us a heck yes. Please share. We want to see some love here. We're just talking into a camera. So make sure you guys share us. Are you guys excited about this? Give us a heck yes.
So we have the what, and in order to start any business has 4 pillars. Business has the why you're doing it. Business has who you're doing it with, the team for delegation that's going to help you, or the team that you're going to be modeling, along, that is going to be giving you the strategic advisory that you need. It's about the what, which we just discovered, right? And we just discussed with you guys right now. It's our land profit generator method and all the land profit maximizer strategies that we're going to be sharing with you guys as well. And it's also the how, and we're also covering those, but very foundational to those 4 pillars of business is the why. And these 3 don't happen if the why has not been taken care of.
And that's extremely well said, Michelle.
Yeah.
The thing is, most people turn this around. Most people start with the how, and then they fail because they don't have a strong enough why.
And who's.
Right? And who's, right? So they start with the why, with the what, they hire a bunch of people, and then they realize that whatever it is, they don't move forward because the why wasn't strong enough. The why wasn't strong enough. So what we need to really hone into is the why, because if you think about it, if this is your reason why, and this is an obstacle, guess what? If you're me, do you see the why still? Yeah, this is the reason why. It's hidden behind an obstacle the size of a Yeti coffee cup. Now, if this is your why, then you don't, if your why is that small, even a small object like a Yeti coffee cup representing a small, just a hurdle, like your buddy's inviting you to watch football or to watch to go play bunco or play cards or something, play poker or whatever it is, it will be enough to derail you from this business. However, if your why is the size of this painting behind us, and this is your obstacle. Now, this is your obstacle here. Do you still see?
Is your obstacle.
Yeah, or even this is your obstacle, right? Or the obstacle is the size of wherever it is, whatever it is. If this is your obstacle, same obstacle. This obstacle now looks like a peanut compared to the size of the Y over there, right? And even if your obstacle is even bigger, if this is your obstacle, it still is a tiny little hump to get over it in comparison to the Y that's the size of this painting here, right? And so as a result, what we need to create for you guys, or what you guys need to create, is you gotta start with a big enough Y. So we're going to spend
that size Y. Your Y needs to be this big so that you right here, no matter what comes in the middle, can still see.
I'll hold it for you. Yeah. So this is all makeshift whiteboard. Some people ask me for a whiteboard. There we go. We got a whiteboard going. So now this is why we need to start with a big fat Y. Yeah. So what I want you to do right now in the workbook, right, page 3, it's like, what is your why? Why are you freaking here right now, right? Why are you here? What is thing? And dig deep, guys. Why are you here? Like when Michelle and I started out, we had a job, as Michelle said, we both got masters here with great education, everything, blah, blah. And then we went and got jobs. And those jobs kept me away from Michelle for 5 days of the week. I would leave at 5 a.m. in the morning on Mondays, sometimes even Sunday night, depending on where I had to go. And then I would be working literally till midnight, all day long, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday at like 10 p.m. I would fly back. I would come home dead freaking tired. Michelle would pick me up. We would eat something. I would fall in bed. I would sleep till 11 the next day. We would do some housework, perhaps go grocery shopping, do some stuff. Sunday, I would pack again. Monday morning, the same thing. For 5 years, I hated every day. After the novelty wore off, after a year, it was no longer something we wanted to do.
So your why can be in the beginning pain. Yes. Pain that you're trying to get away from. For us, that was a big
We realized we needed to do something different because we couldn't quit. Yeah. Because our green card, our visa process was tied to that job. And if we would have quit, we would have left. We would have had to leave the country or find another job within 60 days, or otherwise leave the country. So we were stuck. But while we were stuck, we realized we don't want to be stuck forever. So it's not like we didn't want to wait until we had the green card and then figure out what to do, because that would have added 3 years to that, right? So instead we said, like, no, while we are in this miserable job, let's figure out what we can do while we're in the job in order to prepare ourselves and have something in our hand that's already paid off our debt, that already works, so that the moment the green card hits, we could say, done. We're gone. And that's exactly what land flipping was for us.
But before land flipping, guys, we also messed around with houses, you know, and we failed. I mean, even in the land for the first 3 years, it took us almost 3 years to really nail our method down before we could scale. So what we're going to be sharing with you guys, what we're sharing with you right now, you know, and why even the why is important, is the result of us having failed before. We are now where we're at, and the top 1% of the land flippers are where we are right now because we have failed first. You know, we have. And you
have failed probably. Yeah. The thing is just the main thing here is that we all have failed in life. But the point is, you finally have arrived at a method that works. Yeah. So I see here, David. David says his pain has to do with somebody very close to his family that is not supportive. That can be a why, right? That can be a why. Make that your why, because I tell you what, once you show that spouse a check, the support is going to be there. You need to build up the stamina right now to push through and make that big check, those first 100 grand, 50 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is, so important that when you push through it and you create it, it's not like, hey, I told you what. It's not about that. It's about bringing somebody that with you on board that is actually, that perhaps rightfully is doubting because perhaps you have failed in the past. Perhaps like Michelle, when I brought us, so that we had failed in the past. When we came up with this land program, we were like, is that going to be another failure? It's like, no, this is the real deal. This is what we have been waiting for. And we went for, because we saw there's no competition. We saw we could buy them sight unseen. We saw we could buy them at 5 or 10 cents on a dollar. So we pushed forward. And then even our family members, and sometimes, are you guys sure you're doing the right thing? And so on. But then once we show them the check, once we show them that we could go travel to Europe and spend 6 weeks traveling to Europe, right? Then all of a sudden the support came in, the support was there, and the family, well, family was never really negative, but they were like doubtful, right? And I don't blame them for it, because they wanted us to be careful, right? We went to college for many years and all stuff. So again,
I guess some of you are having some sound problems. I am checking right now actually with our team, and most of our team can hear as well. Can you make sure?
If not, just go back. We're about 53 minutes in right now, so make sure that there's afterwards you go right back to that,
or watch the replay
and watch the replay again. But don't leave right now, because you got to be on in order to win. So the thing is, right? So make sure you choose a why that is truly important. So put your whys down. Now ask and they can be negative whys, as Michelle said, as like something that you're suffering under right now that you want to break free from. That's a great short-term why. And then a great long-term why is to go towards something, towards a life of abundance, towards a life of health, towards a life where you make the money that you can afford the best freaking healthcare in the world. The kind of why, like towards a life where you can spend all day with your kids, where you can homeschool the kids, which is many parts of the country, you still have to homeschool the kids right now, right? So where you can actually spend that time, like, and you can accelerate that process, right? A life towards traveling, like for us, we left our countries. I'm the only one of my family in the United States. Michelle is the only one of her family in the United States, except for a somewhat distant aunt and a cousin, right? And so we wanted to be in the position to have the money and have the time to be able to go spend our summers in Europe. Go to Honduras. Like last year, Michelle's mom played in the theater in Honduras.
Or retire your dad.
Or retire my dad. This business helped retire my dad 3 years early from his job when he was really declining in health and everything. He's retired like 15 years now, and he's in better health now than he was back then, right? So, but it allows us to do things like, Michelle's mom loves playing the theater, so she played in the city theater in Honduras, and we were able to just went over there for an extended weekend just to go see grandma play in the theater, right? Why not, right? Because family is our #1 value. We just love our family. We want to be with family. We want to be and so on. So yeah, I'm from Germany originally.
When we think of family, yes, I also think of family, not just of the family that is here and the generation. I also want you to think about a larger vision that pulls you, and about generations that are coming, after you. If you have always been in a situation where your family or you come from a lineage where it's all been about poverty, where it's all been about scarcity, where it's all been like every decision from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep has been about money, let's take the money out of the equation, and it comes through mastery. There's no other way around it, but comes through mastery, and allow that why of changing future generations in you being the beginning of changing your family tree, forever. Make that be a vision that pulls you, talk to that vision, talk to prosperity, see it everywhere, see it in the lawn, see it in a grain of salt, see it everywhere, and have that why be that vision that pulls you. And then that's, so like we were saying earlier, it can be something that you're running towards, or something that you're running from, or something that you're running towards. So you want that why to be strong, and you want to define it exactly what it is, because when things get tough, that's what's going to get you to continue to train like an athlete in your business.
Right. And then also, just to clarify, I guess we haven't said that. I'm originally from Germany. Michelle's originally from Honduras, Central America. We came here as immigrants with literally nothing but 2 suitcases each and a bunch of dreams. And we built our business, our success here from absolutely nothing, right? Yeah. My dad's a high school teacher. Michelle's mom is an elementary teacher. We did not have money to come here. We did not have a golden spoon or a silver spoon in our mouth. We had absolutely nothing, but we had a drive. We had a hunger. We had the desire to not succumb to status quo, not do what everyone else is doing, but instead build our own path. And what they say, the extra mile is always empty, right? Because like if you do the extra mile, if you learn the things that will make you wealthy and you do the steps, then you are living that extraordinary life. Okay, so let's go on. So why is this urgent? The next question. We already answered this one. What is your why?
I already went through who does your why.
Okay, great. But make sure that one thing, we haven't really covered this one. You really got to put down in words why this is urgent. Think about what happens if you don't accomplish that. Think about what negatively could happen. Who potentially could not be around anymore. When Michelle mentioned when we retired our dad, we truly believed, and probably would be the case. We obviously don't know because he's happy and living now. And my mom and my dad have married 52 years now, but we thought that, and we had reason to believe that if we don't put the pedal to the metal and we don't help retire my dad early, he would no longer be alive just 2-3 years later. So we made that a reason why. We made that not just the reason why, we made it the reason why this needed to be urgent, guys. Why this needed to be urgent, right? So, and then the impact on your future, we covered this already. What does it affect your, outside of yourself? Outside of yourself, make sure you don't take that lightly. Spend, after we're done today, spend at least an hour or at least 10 minutes digging deep on that, digging deep and asking yourself those questions. And out of that, what you will build is a reason why, a group of reasons why. It's not just one reason. Usually it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 different reasons, and stack them on top of each other. And the more you can stack, the bigger that will be, right? The bigger that picture will be, and the easier it will be to overcome these obstacles as you go along, right? I know this has nothing to do with land flipping, guys, but without that, you will fail, or most people will fail, because most people will just, they act in a spur. And then if something is exciting, and then they give up again. If you have a big reason why, you will stick to it. And that's the #1 difference between success and failure, right? Okay, go ahead.
So how many land deals do you need to do per year to live the lifestyle of your dream?
That's another great, that ties right into the why, right? How many land deals do you do? So let's say if the average deal makes you $15,000. How many deals do you need to do, right? You make that own decision. I mean, we're not going to tell you how many that is. What number per month, per year in income do you need to live the lifestyle of your dreams? And you can break it into actually 2 different things. You can do it into a 1-year kind of lifestyle, 1-year goal, and then a 5-year kind of vision. When we do our live events, which we currently can't do because it's COVID, right? We actually have our attendees do an exercise where they in one day they create the 1-year goal basically, and the next day they do the 5-year vision. So put that together and say, what is it? How many deals do you need to do? Like, and put it in here, by the way. Put it. Let us see the comments over here. Yeah, we want to see what your number is.
So let's say that you wanted to get to a $200,000 salary.
Yeah.
Then
it will be like 13, 15 deals, basically a deal in a quarter a month, right? That's about it, right? If you want to make $500,000 a year, then if your average deal is $15,000, that equals about 30, 33 deals, right? If you want to make $1 million, well, then you have to do about like 65 or so deals a year, with an average profit of $15,000. If you want to focus on the lower price properties, obviously then it's got to be a few more deals. If you're focusing, we have one of our coaches, Michelle is her name too. She focuses on the high end deals, and she makes like $50,000 to $80,000 a deal. She only needs to do like 12 deals, 10 to 20 deals a year for $1 million income, right? So this is what we want to do here. So.
Just making sure that our sound is good.
Yeah, I think we are. Okay. Just there's some we're fully connected here. It's like we're going to what's the name of this thing here? StreamYard.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes just a little slower. So yeah. Again, so therefore so what's those numbers? Let me see. 10, 12 to 15. Replace the salary of 100 grand, 2 to 300K a year where I want to be in the next year. More is even better. I want to put Jeff Bezos look poor. Now, this is a great point. That's funny, but you got to pick something that is actually within, that your subconscious can actually reach. Jeff Bezos is worth $170 billion or something like that. You probably can't reach $170 billion with land flipping in the next 12 months. But whatever your income is today, you can replace that and double it in the next 12 months. So take a goal for the next 12 months that is reachable, it gets you excited, but that it's still at some level believable.
Yeah.
Right? And then the 5-year goals, which by the way, you're going to crush if you do this anyway.
People so underestimate what they can do in 5 years.
Yeah. So you create a 5-year goal of $1 million, or a 3-year goal of $1 million, and you'll see you reach that in 2 or 3 years. It's not every single time. Like Megan, one of our coaching students, she within 10 months, she had to revise her 3 to 5 year goals because she already met them. Right. So just very, very, very important things to do here. So great. So the next question is, what is the identifying characteristics of a motivated land seller? So now that we have covered all the why stuff, and please don't underestimate the power of the why. Go full in on the why, and you will see that everything else is going to be much, much easier and better. So what are the identifying characteristics of a motivated land seller?
Challenge, Jack, they say.
What? Which one? The Jeff Bezos? Yeah, it might be. Right, okay, so 250K, yes, whatever it is. We have seen people go to $1 million in a year, right?
Yeah.
We have seen people
done $2 million in land,
Actually, he's close to $1 million a year right now, right? We have one of our head coaches. Our head coaches pulls in $1 million a year. Not a problem. You can do it, right? But you just need to focus on then implementing what it takes. So with that said, what is the identifying characteristics of a motivated seller? So first of all, it's somebody that typically have owned land for quite a while and just doesn't want the land anymore, right? Typically, they often have land so they owned land for quite a while. They just don't want it anymore. The land is typically a worth. So we're going more after the characteristics of the land actually than the land seller. And they're typically worth between $5,000 and $200,000. That's our sweet spot, right? That's our sweet spot. So we like properties. $200,000 property you can pick up for like $80,000, $90,000, which is a little bit more than the 30%, but still. And then you flip it for $140,000, make a $50,000 profit. And $50,000 properties you flip for. You put on a contract for like 10 to 15K and go flip it for $30,000, $35,000, right? So then, so that's number one. Number two, and number three. What do you got here, Michelle? The land sellers. We also looking at
motivated. I mean, another reason is, did you cover it already? They've inherited.
Yes, many times we love sellers that have inherited properties. We love actually a lot of our students are dealing with inherited properties often, because that's one reason that heirs do not care about their properties, right? Yes, no cash down. We're going to talk about that. When we make offers, our contract has no space for an escrow deposit. So there you can back out anytime for any reason, and you can market the property while it's under contract. So therefore, we never put cash down on our property. Somebody was asking about the no cash bonds. Can you put the thing back up? Because I would love to see.
I'm just like, the team is sending me messages in case the volume goes down, so I need to see.
But there's really nothing we can do. So we just we got to keep chatting there first. So then inheritance properties. We have properties where owners are often just have owned the property for 10, 20, 30 years. They no longer want to deal with it. They bought it for many cases they bought it 30 years ago to go camp out there, to go have a blast at the center of 10 to 20 acres.
Taxes is one of the reasons why these heirs, don't want to deal with it as well. They don't want to keep on buying or paying property taxes on a property that they have not even looked at, that they have no interest in, in going forward.
So a motivated land seller, quite often, about 10 to 15% of the cases, has actually stopped paying property taxes. In 85% of the cases, though, they still pay property taxes, right? So so therefore, that's just one criteria. Another one is again, is location of the property. We love three kinds of properties. We love properties.
Listen up, guys.
Right? This is Ninja internal stuff here. We love properties that are right in the city, infill lots. Think infill lots, a street, 35 houses, one empty lot. The lot is ready to be filled in. All utilities there, everything. Houses in the neighborhood sell for $300,000-$400,000. This lot is worth $80,000. You can put this property under contract for $25,000, flip it to a builder for $60,000, make a $35,000 profit. The builder's happy, the seller's happy, you're happy. You just made a $35,000 profit. Boom, right?
Yeah.
So
somebody just asked if I'm a real estate agent, can I still do this?
Absolutely, yes.
We actually have brokers here, real estate agents doing this, cashing in, where this was their side hustle, and it's going to very, very quickly become their main hustle for sure. Yeah. Kate Rose here in the group, she's a designated broker.
$95,000 since since the lab she took, since a program she took, and in like late last year, but she took a 3-month break in between too because of some other business issues that she needed to take care of with her other business that she runs. So literally, basically in a period of 6 months, she made $95,000. So again, we also like properties in the outskirts of town, like right on the outside of growing cities. It's what's called the path of growth. And then often these sellers have owned it for many years. Again, it's a combination of things. Somebody bought this lot to down the road to retire on it, but now the grandkids are born and they don't want to be closer to the grandkids anymore. So they want to keep that. So they want to get rid of it now, and the kids don't want it. They live in New York City, living la vida loca, and they no longer want that. The next thing is also larger acreage for people to hang out with and go RVing, and those are hot right now because everyone wants a piece of land to take the RV on, to rent an RV, to be outside of COVID cities, and so on and so forth, right? So that covers the characteristics of motivated land sellers. They don't want it anymore. They've owned it for many years. They're often tax delinquent. They've inherited the properties. They're getting older. They don't want them, and so on. So what's the most effective way to reach these motivated sellers? The number one most effective way with our method is direct mail. Yeah. We use direct mail. Direct mail for land works like gangbusters. Our students get an average of anywhere between like 2 on the low end and as much as 12 or even 15% in some cases response rates on their letters. Now, sometimes at the beginning it might be a little lower as you're testing some counties, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But at the same time, you are once you hone in on your favorite counties that you do deal after deal after deal is, it's not unheard of to get a 10+% response rates on your mailer. So in other words, you send out 1,000 letters, you get 100 people calling you wanting to sell you their properties, and you can reasonably expect to do 3 to 4 deals out of that after you honed in your business. Again, this is a business optimization thing, right? This is a business mastery, right? We want to look up, not just getting a deal done. We want to make sure that you can get deal after deal after deal done. So what are the identifying characteristics of an excited land buyer is the next question, right? The land buyers are people that, again, it depends on the kind of property you want to focus on. For the infill lot, it's very clearly, it's a builder. Real estate is on fire. Builders are building like crazy. They're going to snatch that property right off your hand. Second kind of buyer for that infill lot is actually a financial buyer. If that's a gentrifying area where values are going up, a financial buyer, a doctor, a dentist, a entrepreneur that doesn't want to have all this money in the bank account, or in the stock market, they want to buy these properties and then put them and just hold on to them as the markets go up, their value goes up, and it's a much better return than in the stock market. Literally, a property bought that they buy from us for $50, 5 years later, after gentrification has happened, could be worth $250,000. And
somebody's asking, why don't we call our tax? The reason why we don't call our tax is because it's not scalable. Number one, it's not scalable. Number two,
it's expensive.
It's much more expensive than having basically, and then there's a ton of anti-spam, regulations where you can get fined up to $100,000, if you're spamming somebody on tax.
So could you call people one after the other? Yes, but usually the list we get don't have phone numbers. The list that you have phone numbers costs some more, and you get but then you have to call. Would you like to spend all day long being on the phone calling people and getting yelled at for calling them, or would you like to just send out some letters that get a 10x response rates of every house flipper? And then get the deals that way. So it's a much more scalable business, more scalable way. Much more hands-off way to do business the way we suggested. Now, can you add some phone calls to it? Sure, why not? But it's not scalable. So then what else? The second kind of property is the property in the outskirts of town and the path of growth. That's also interesting to particularly two kinds of buyers. Number one is again the financial buyer. If you're really close to the city and the city's growing quickly, then the financial buyer will buy that. Let's say it's a 2-acre property worth $100,000. You get in a contract for 20, you sell it for 65 to somebody else. Now you make a $45,000 profit. That guy pays $65,000 and sits on it. Well, guess what? The city approaches 10, 15 years down the road. This area is all engulfed in already development. These 5 acres now are worth $1 million. Boom, he bought it for 60, selling it 15 years later for $1 million. People love doing it. It's called land banking. Second kind of buyer is a future retiree. There's this entire wave of 55 or 50-year plus people that are realizing that they don't have enough money saved up in order to retire in style. Now, the smart ones do potentially what you do if you're in that age group. You educate yourself, you build a second leg to stand on, you're learning the land profit methods, and you're building the wealth for yourself so you're not in that category. But a lot of people have their head in the sand, and they're realizing that, but at that point, they're starting to realizing that they can't retire in style in the 60s and 70s. So what they do is right now, they buy a piece of land outside of town, 10, 20, 30 miles outside of town, and then they go pay it off for installments, often monthly payments, installment payments. And then once they're getting ready for retirement, they put a mobile home on there, or they build a small house on there, and then they go retire there, which is still only 20, 30-minute drive from the city, still close to the doctors and the medical services and the grocery stores and stuff, but still much more affordable. So they have a free and clear lot. They have a free and clear, perhaps mobile home on there, and they can retire still in dignity. So you have those future retirees buying from you, the financial buyers. And then the third kind of property is the recreational acreage, 2 or 3 hours away from the bigger cities in a beautiful, like in the Smoky Mountains. And
there your buyer is a typical family that wants to go out there and hang out during the weekends with them, and have fun with their toys, with their ATV, with their, dirt bikes, with their four-wheelers. I mean, we've had people that even wanted to go out there and pan gold. I mean, we've
like fun, like you see all the people that have ATVs, RVs, boats, jet skis, motorcycles, are like, again, the campers, things like that. That's your crowd, and that's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The hikers, the kayakers, the thing. They want to be. The Friday hits. They get out of the doomsday preppers too. But the Friday hits. They get out of their job. They have everything ready already. Pick up the kids and off they go. 2-3 hour drive to be Friday evening at a lake, at a hiking area. Just enjoy life, and they don't want to be in an RV park. They want to own their own piece of land that they can have their fun with. So they have money because they're driving their $100,000 RVs there. They're driving with their toys in their thing there with a Jeep back to it. So they have money, and they're looking for exactly what you have to offer. All right. So this is the things that this is those pieces, and then.
So we're getting to the last page, guys. So we already identified how many land flips would you need in order to meet your financial goals this year. Some of you guys have already posted them here, but I want you guys to now make a commitment statement, because everything starts with commitment. Like, our life can change in an instant if we commit and we decide, in one thing. And we're going to be covering the 4 C's of success later on, but I hereby commit to doing X amount of deals in the next 12 months, with each making a minimum of X percentage in profit. You can have 5,000, 10,000, 15, $20,000, be your average spread. What will that be for you? You guys need to individually fill that out and say, how many deals is it gonna take? Because we're reverse engineering our goals. How many deals is it gonna take, for me to get to X amount of income per year, and what's gonna be my minimum average amount per deal that I wanna do. And based on what you choose that to be, if your minimum average deal is $15,000, you're going to have to start with properties that are a little bit higher priced in value. Like, you cannot produce mathematically a $15,000 flip going after $5,000 pieces of land. Right. That's like.
So your target range of what property values you focus on is depending on that statement. The question before is, again, how many land flips?
And it's important because it's going to show you, it's also giving you direction on the areas that you're going to be selecting tomorrow with us along the way.
Because tomorrow we're going to actually literally give you all the details on how to select an area. So because the goal here for this entire thing is to actually create momentum for you. Yeah. Great momentum, so that by the time Thursday, Friday, Saturday comes around, you are ready to take this bull by the horns and actually run with it. Because the hardest part in life is always gaining momentum. Yeah. It's not hard going to the gym once you're there. It's not. The hardest part about going to the gym is getting out of bed in the morning. Yeah. Okay? The hardest part of going to the gym is to actually get yourself into thing and make that first step and that second step, and then go to the car and so on. So this is what we are trying to do with you. We're trying to actually get you out of bed. We get you into the running shoes, get you into the mode that you understand, or that get rid of the excuses, get you to have that vision of how you're going to look like health-wise and how your financial health is going to look like, and then get you going. And we're giving you all the details, including the personal training, to get there. So make sure you follow that along when you attend every single session. Because again, what is the alternative? The alternative is to live the life that you have been living right now. And if you're not happy with that life, I would venture that if you were to be 100% happy with your life, you wouldn't be here. Right? So you are here because there's something in your life that you no longer want to tolerate. There's something in your life that you want to improve. There's that you know inherently in yourself that there is a better way for yourself that you want to go towards. So take the steps, create the list, create the reason of why, make the list of commitments, calculate how many deals you want to do this year, right, in order to get to that number, and then make that self-commitment. So
and then with that, I also want to say, if you need to watch and rewatch this, we covered quite a bit today. Go ahead and go up on the group, or maybe on the left-hand side if you are on our mobile. I think actually on the mobile is on the top, and on the left-hand side is on your laptop. And you can go to the unit section. Each and every of our replays is going to be on the unit section. You're also going to get an email from us saying, you know, here's a link to the replay. So make sure that if you need to re-listen, or if you're watching right now, you know, in the evening, or you missed the session, you know, that you go and look in the unit section on top of the group. Also, we have a banner with the times of each and every session. The only thing that is not up there are the bonus sessions. Let me already tell you, we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our main session. But at 2 p.m. we have...
Today at 2 p.m.
No, tomorrow Saturday. Tomorrow Tuesday. Oh my God. Tomorrow Tuesday, we see you at 10 a.m. for our main session. Tomorrow in our main session, we're covering how to select the areas, the most critical, crucial part of the piece of the puzzle, at 10 a.m. Then at 2 p.m., we have a bonus session covering, I think, pivoting to higher priced properties, how to go and find the areas, you know, for these higher priced properties. So you want to be here at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then if you can make it 2 p.m., if not, no worries. Go to the replays on the unit section as well. And we are also going to be posting right now, as soon as this live is over, our homework thread, where you're going to go and answer the question, what is your deepest and most heartfelt why you want to succeed in the land flipping business? This is the homework. The homework post is going to come up there. Barbara Lindsay is going to put it up, and you want to post inside of that. Everyone that posts is going to be eligible, because you've been live and you've been posting on the homework, to win our prize for tomorrow, which is the book bundle. Then tomorrow, we're going to be giving away a $250 Amazon gift card. Then on Wednesday, I think we give away, I can't remember what we give away, something in the $300 to $500 vicinity. We are also going to be giving away a scholarship on Thursday, I believe, to one of our programs. And then some other goodie, you know, high-end, nice thing that is related to your land flipping business on Friday as well. So make sure that you're here live with us each and every day. We see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. Post your questions. Get in direct messages with our concierges. They're here to support you. If you missed anything from today, you know, they have the answers to all of the workbooks. Help them workshop this workshop with you. You know, they're all full-time land flippers here, fighting for your dreams, helping you, you know, digest each and every piece of the content so that you can stay on pace with us during the week, okay?
All right.
So with that said, thank you so much, guys. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve you today, and we will see you.
Make sure in the workbook, there's some key takeaways on the bottom. Yeah. Make sure you fill out the key takeaways, right? And then, as Michelle said, right after this is over, we're posting the homework post. You got to post in there in order to win the book bundle.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Just one more repetition of that, but don't forget the key takeaways. And spend some time on your why. The bigger you can make that why, the more success you're going to have. I cannot overstress that. Right. Right. Thank you. Bye-bye.